Good afternoon. It is October 7th, 2021. And before I start, I just want to say if someone could, I'm going to turn my brightness all the way up today. If someone could just comment and let me know if that makes a difference. I don't know if I put my brightness down some days. I would imagine so. But anyway, I would appreciate that. But here's what we're looking at today. Really an uptrend most of the morning, but what time did we start? So really we spent most of the day in this range. Really that range started at 7. So the overnight and shortly after the open, we had, oh wow, that was a quick move up then. Quick 2 legs up from the open, then we just had sideways action and a reversal. So that's what we had today. And you could have gotten in on this downtrend. So, yeah, that was pretty nice. And you could have had a really nice runner depending on how you managed it. If you got in up here, maybe you wouldn't be expecting a runner. But if you got in on this swing or maybe this swing, I was looking at the overnight highs. So you can see we've never tested these overnight lows. Maybe that will be a gap to fill. But anyway, today looks like a spike in channel to me. This spike into this channel, and then congestion most of the day into this reversal. We'll probably get a test of these highs or something at some point, but for now, we're looking down, mostly downward. So let's take a look at these trades. Right at 5 o'clock, you have a rather aggressive entry. It's a possibility, but first, second, this is an inside bar, but we were clearly in congestion. First, second, so it is the third entry, but you could look at it like a failed breakout, and it ticks one tick lower and then ticks one tick higher. So it just looks like a trap. It's the first bounce off the EMA too. That's definitely a factor to weigh in. But anyway, we get the counter trend break of this congestive area, and then the width trend break, and that's where I put my overnight highs. And then we make this tight channel down, so you get a first entry, failed second entry. That's generally too far from the EMA. I took this trade. I think it's okay to do this. It looks like we might be having a range day. Especially this looks like congestion here, so maybe we would come and test that. You might raise these highs, and then at that point, this does look like that's what happens. It almost tests it, fails though. But anyway, so I think this is definitely an aggressive trade, but I think this is something to consider. But then we get a failed second entry short, and you definitely got to take that because the trend is up. I think that's a great entry. And oh man, yeah. So what happened here? I think I took this. Yeah, I took this on my practice account, and for some reason I didn't have my runner up. It was a full scout, and my son unplugged the mouse, so I didn't get a runner in time. But that's okay. And you probably would have gotten the full move here. What is that? So probably would have gotten an 11-point runner, especially because this is looking like the top of the channel. So that's probably what everyone else did, and I'd probably do that too. So 405, almost a 12-point runner. Very nice. Then you get this downtrend. You actually get a second entry short right here, but I think at this point especially that leg is crazy nice. and tight and shoots up. So I think I don't think you want to go short. But we do pull back to these overnight highs. Okay, so what did I think about here? First entry, failure. Well, I just wanted to point out this congestion. I'm not sure what else I wanted to point out, but yeah, this is clearly congestion. So I think that's why I didn't mark this long. This long does get you a scalp, but we have this potential downtrend. We got two dojis right here. It looks pretty dangerous, so that's why I marked that. But you would have gotten a scalp out of that. We break out of this downward channel, make a higher low, bounce off the EMA, and you do get a failure right there. I think you have to enter on this bar and not this inside bar. But you can see it bounce right off the midline. So that takes us to the top of the channel. This is all too far from the EMA. First entry here. I don't think this. You get a first failed second entry right here. I don't think you want to do that. I think it's pretty clear. You should pretty easily have this channel at this point, and that's far from the EMA, and this looks like it's the top of the channel. So, and you know what? I bet you the top of the channel is actually like that, because you can see it holds prices. But I don't know, that congestion, maybe that is an overshoot then. But anyway, not a good failure right here. You see we get all this congestion up here, but this does look like a leg up. We hit the top of the trend channel again. Looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th time. And prices really start to go sideways. So make a two-tiered channel, or I mean two-tiered range. And I'm not going short yet. But you can see we make this high. We test it once, twice. Get a correction. And you get this looks like a... I guess you would have to look at this as a higher low. And at that point, I would have my congestion more so drawn up here. So that's a higher low back into congestion. Kind of looks, oh yeah, it is a second entry. First entry, it's also a first entry, second entry. So you might even mark this blue. I think you could argue for either. It is off the midline too. That's another thing. You might be worried that the correction is going to come back to the channel, and that's exactly what it did after this. So. Excuse me. So we try and go higher again. So this kind of looks like the first, second, third, fourth time we try and go higher right here. We hit the trend channel, and you get a higher low back in. I really like that entry with that signal bar. People are thinking the bottom's going to fall out. It looks congestive. It looks like people went short here too early. It just looked real good, and I got in on that move too. Unfortunately, I had my runner like up here, and eventually that would have got hit, but this bar stopped me out. Let's get rid of those. We hit the top again, so that's like you could just call this a 1, 2, 3, like a quadruple top. And at that point, I think you're starting to, and this got tested here. We get a break right here after this test of this high again. At that point, I think you might consider shorts at that point. But if you're still playing the range and with the upward bias, you get some higher lows. You get this failed breakout right here, higher low right here. This one, I probably shouldn't have this marked, because I think you have to enter on a limit order, and it's going into the midline in this range. Yeah, I don't think you should take that. You might take this too, but it's just this point now you're thinking this might be a leg down of correction, and this is actually a first failed second entry short. So I think you can take that. You might look at this, or no, this is a failed second entry long, excuse me. First failed second entry long, and then you could look at this, first failed second entry short, and you would get a scalp out of that, but then the floor falls out. Why did I mark this red? This is you could look at this as like a second entry short, double bottom, first, second entry. You might look at that way. You can see it closes beneath the EMA. That's what I like about it. But if you're patient, first failed second entry short, or excuse me, failed second entry long, I think you can jump in on that. This Ninja Trader is always moving my channels. That's aggressive for sure. You're going into the lows, but this has the feel of a downtrend. And we've been trending down at this point for, over an hour and 45 minutes. 2 hours almost. Here you got a pullback. It kind of looks like a second entry short. I mean, it's not, because the second entry short comes here, and those people get trapped. This is closer to the EMA, and it just, I don't know, it looks good. It's off the trend line, so you might consider that. I don't think there's anywhere else you can enter in this. But then we get the break of this channel, and one leg, possibly two legs down, or you could look at it as one leg, two legs down. But I think really this is the first leg. And so we get down here, we're kind of expecting a break. We haven't made it to the bottom of the channel. And you get a first failed second entry short above the EMA. I think this is a good setup, and especially because we're expecting possibly an attempt at a new high. And now we're also expecting an attempt at a new low. So you just gotta, I guess, just think dynamically. And here you get a first failed second entry long, and that would have got you down to here. That's probably what my target would have been. When I jumped in over here, my target was originally the well, I was thinking about the overnight highs, but then I was thinking about the the opening price. But I backed out a little prematurely. Probably would be okay backing out right here, but definitely when it makes this new swing high, if you will, matching highs almost right here, I'd probably take that or take this. But anyway, so some good opportunities to make money. Here's what I took on my the simulator account that I now have two simulator accounts. One's for me to treat like a real account, and then the other's for practice. And so yeah, last night I'm just thinking like, oh, I'm missing. I don't know. You just get eager. Just don't look at it at night. First entry, failed second entry, right here. Look how far that is from the EMA. Way too far, and from the trend line. And then here, oh, okay, I took this one. For some reason, oh, okay, I did take this on the, okay, so I took 3 trades. All right. So here, like I said, this one's aggressive, but with that channel, it makes me feel a little better. Actually, yeah, especially since the channel would probably be drawn more so like this. That looks real good at that point. So I'm okay with this. It's definitely aggressive, though. This trade I'm definitely okay with. This is a blue trade for sure. Not a lot of price acceptance here. I like that. Boom. Yeah, this is a doji right here, but I think this is a great setup. And yeah, unfortunately I didn't get a runner. That would have been great. So yeah, those are the trades I took today. I hope everyone has a great day. We'll be back tomorrow, and I'll see you then.